Hello, my darlings. I hope you are all well and have had a fabulous day. In today's video, I am giving you a quick recap of Celebrity Big Brother episode 9. I am dropping daily quick recaps of this whole season. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, click the subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And also, check out my Big Brother recap playlist to catch up on all the episodes you may have missed. And without further ado, let's just get into it. So tonight's episode was really boring, to be honest. It basically covered the day leading up to last night's eviction. And realistically, I felt like we had seen a lot of the good stuff in yesterday's coverage, which I thought was quite bad. It felt like a Sunday episode. Anyway, so let's just get into it. At breakfast, Fearne and Louis were having a conversation about the royals again. Louis said he just wants to know about Kate Middleton, and I presume he meant he just wants to know where she is. And then he started talking about how beautiful and delightful she is, to which Fearne agreed, and Fearne was saying that she really wants to meet her. And he mentioned that he met her last year at the Chelsea Flower Show, and he asked her if she named her son Prince Louis after him. And I think Fearne said, well, what did she say? To which he said, she said she didn't, but she was lovely. Then Sharon popped in and joined the royal conversation, and Fearne spoke about how fabulous Kate is and what big iconic shoes she's had to step into, and also wearing Princess Diana's iconic engagement ring. And then Sharon swiped in with, can you imagine if that ring had gone to Meghan? Oh! To which they were all horrified at the thought. Then Fearne said she thinks Meghan is mysterious and that she would love to think that she is genuine, but she thinks that she may be manipulative. To which Sharon confirmed, by her own opinion of course, that she's very manipulative. And Louis piped up with, and she can't act either to save her life. Honestly, what an absolute shade tree. Pure shade. So the episode was centered a lot around Sharon getting ready to leave and spending the last bit of quality time with everyone. At one point, she sat with Coulson and Nikita and told them about how she knew Freddie Mercury before he was part of Queen. And I think she said she met him in a clothes shop, and they just basically looked on in awe. She basically spent a bit of time with everyone, but ultimately you could tell she was really excited to go home. Big Brother set up a farewell afternoon tea party with all the goodies: scones, clotted cream, jam, finger sandwiches, and I think they were all her favourites. And they all sat around and gave speeches about how fabulous Sharon is, which was lovely, but it also felt a bit forced at times. Do you know what I mean? So Levi said, Sharon, you're like royalty. You are royalty. And Nikita said, you are the mother. We all came from you. You are our queen. And Zizi, through tears, thanked Sharon for saving her and giving her advice, of which she said she would cherish forever, which, to be fair, did come across genuine, because obviously it seems like they did have absolutely a genuine connection. And Louis finished up with, she's a great mother, wife and friend, and he doesn't want her to go. And to be honest, I'm not sure how he's going to cope in the house without Sharon, because as I predicted way back in episode 1, Sharon is definitely Louis' support system on this show. She definitely is. I reckon that Sharon will probably pass him over to Fearne for her to look after him, because I've noticed now that those two are having quite a lot more scenes together. You know, we're going to see the dynamics change. My prediction, of course. Anyway, all of the housemates spoke about how much they will miss her and the impact she has in the house. And to be fair, I can see why, and I can see why they will miss her genuinely. In a later conversation, Marisha and Fearne spoke about children. Well, it's quite haphazard actually, because I think Fearne was speaking about her memory. I think it was. And I think she said to Marisha, oh, you know, wait till you have children, then you'll know about it, kind of thing. So it transpires that Marisha is 38 years old. She hasn't had children yet. She spoke about that in, I think it was the retreat episode, where she basically said that she's kind of put marriage and having children on the back burner to further her career. So she hasn't had children yet. In this conversation with Fearne, she kind of basically, alluded to the fact that, time's ticking, which every 38-year-old definitely thinks about this. Hands up, I'm one of them. And Fearne admitted to her that she had her first child at 37, and then her second at 38, and then her third at 44. So via IVF and natural circumstances. And it was really nice that she said this, to be honest with you, because really gave Marisha some hope. And it was just a lovely scene, and Fearne was really gentle about it. It gave Marisha some hope, and I'm sure it's going to give other women some hope who are in that position where they are of a certain age and haven't had any children yet. This is the Fearne that I want to see. This is the Fearne that I want to see. She's of a certain age, so I know that she's got some great advice and wisdom to share. This is the person that I was looking for. And whilst we're here, actually, there's a couple of things I wanted to correct about Fearne from things that I had mentioned in some of the previous recaps. I mentioned that she had a relationship with Philip Schofield. She actually didn't have a relationship with Philip Schofield. Their relationship was very much a working relationship. So they presented Good Morning together for many years. And then it came out basically that there was a pay difference between them. And they fell out over that basically because she thought obviously that her and Philip were, really close friends because they had worked with each other for so long, and he kept it from her that they weren't getting paid the same. So that's the relationship that she has with Philip Schofield. She was actually married to Phil Vickery for 20 years, and they are actually now divorced. And I believe in 2018 she lost her dad, and then in 2019 she lost her mom. So she experienced basically a lot of loss within a short space of time and not long ago. And then I think she had a shoulder replacement. She had a shoulder replacement in 2023 after suffering with arthritis. So with that context and that bit of backstory, I feel like it kind of could potentially explain emotional and fragile lady that we are seeing, potentially. I'm not saying that it is all down to that, but just kind of knowing that backstory has changed my perception a bit. But I definitely feel like she's got more to give, and I'm glad that she got saved. Oh, and last night I mentioned the OnlyFans joke that she made to Ekin-Su, and Ekin reckoned that she doesn't have any snaps on social media where she's wearing a bikini. Well, the media and or Big Brother fans have branded her a liar and an actress again, as all of these posts have come out with her wearing none other than a bikini. And speaking of clapbacks, Jedward and Gemma Collins released a video clapping back at Louis, calling him a liar and a senile old man, saying he did nothing for them and he tried to get them to sign a dodgy contract, amongst other things. Followed up by Gemma Collins saying, "Louis, don't be slagging off my boys." Honestly, she's so funny. It's all getting a bit crazy. It is all getting a bit crazy. Anyway, Lauren got evicted, as we know, and Sharon left the house. And again, they aired the scene where she told Levi and Nikita about how much they inspired her. So the aftermath of that is both of them were really honoured to have received such a compliment from Sharon. They obviously, as mentioned earlier, love and respect her so much. And bless Nikita, he was kind of like, I don't know why she chose me, honestly. Like, I don't know. I'm just me. And Louis was like, because it's true. She told me she meant it. And if you want her number, I'll pass it on to you. But only you two. Honestly, he's so high school. He is so high school. Anyway, to lighten the mood, and or rather not lighten the mood, Big Brother set up a game for the housemates called Jelly Bean Roulette, where they each got to ask each other some good or not so good questions. And it went like this. Bradley was asked which housemate does he think is the most real and why, and he chose David because he says that he's just real to the core, he's himself and he's unapologetic with it basically, and he loves him. And David was asked who was the most attractive housemate and why, and he said Fearne because it's because it's gorgeous being beautiful on the outside, but it's even more beautiful basically when you're as beautiful on the inside, when you're a beautiful soul. And Fearne was like, you are a gorgeous liar because you know full well that I'm not so gorgeous on the outside. I really do feel like she's got a bit of a, I don't want to say self-esteem, but she doesn't seem to take compliments well, especially when it's to do with her age or looks. But he did seem sincere in his answer, and he's saying that he just really likes, loves and respects Fearne and loves who she is. And then Marisha was asked who is the most honest housemate and why, and she said Levi, and said that he didn't have a bad bone in his body, and that she respects that he's allowed himself to be so vulnerable whilst he's been on the show. And then Zizi was asked who was the least trustworthy housemate and why. And this is where it got a bit interesting, because everybody really was sitting to attention when this question was asked. And I was thinking, is she going to tell the truth or is she going to sugarcoat this one? But she actually told her truth, of course. And she said Louis. And everyone kind of looked a bit like, oh my God, you've said the name. Basically, she said that Louis has all of these secret conversations, or pockets of conversations where there's, whispering and hushed tones going on all the time. And she's wary of people speaking about other people because ultimately she could become one of those people that are being spoken about. And then Fearne was asked who's the laziest housemate and why. And before she could even say it, Louis confessed and he was like, it's me. And Fearne was like, it's you, is it? And she was like, it bloody is you. You don't do F all around the house, in a nutshell. And I feel like we know his game now. Like, everybody's spoken about it so much. And, he was just unapologetic about it. And then Coulson got asked who is playing the biggest game in the house. And he said that everyone's playing a game. Everybody who's here is playing a game. But he feels like there's one person in the house that's playing a game for a different reason. And he feels like that's Louis, because he doesn't necessarily stand to gain anything, because he's obviously achieved quite a lot and he's has passed the pinnacle of his career basically. But he feels like he's playing a different game, to which I will agree with that one. And then finally, Levi was asked who's the most boring housemate and why. And he said yesterday, i.e. pre-eviction, he would have chosen Coulson. However, in the Battle of the Bands competition, Coulson overcame his fear about the singing of the verse and absolutely slayed it. So now Levi doesn't think he's not saying he's boring now, but he would have said it was him the day before. And literally Coulson's face just dropped, and Fearne and Nikita literally defended him straight away, and they were like, "You're not boring, mate. Like, you are not boring." And Fearne was like, "You've never bored me a day in your life." And poor Coulson literally went off to the toilet and started crying, and Bradley and Nikita literally went into the toilet, and they were there for him and support. And he came out of the toilet and he had a good hug with them, and they were like, "We love you, like, you're not boring at all, like, forget what he's saying." And he was just like, "Oh, I know it's not a big deal, but all of the emotions are just getting to me being in the house." And then he went into the diary room and he basically said to Big Brother that he's got insecurities, and just hearing that one word about him being boring just literally brought all of those insecurities back to the forefront, and he just started doubting himself, which I thought was a very vulnerable moment for him to have. As the days are going by, we're starting to hear a bit more from him and getting to know a bit more about his personality. And that was really about it, to be honest with you. Everybody started getting ready for bed and heading to bed. Fearne got into bed and drank a glass of water and said to Lauren, and raised a glass as if to say Lauren was dead. Like, she is tickling me. I feel like she's starting to come out of her shell. And I'm wondering if it was because of Lauren and Sharon. Was she slightly intimidated by their characters, or is she now coming into her own because she feels like she's got a second chance after being nominated and then, saved by the public? But hopefully we start to see a bit more of her within the remaining time that we have. And that's it, my darlings. As mentioned, it was a very boring episode, not much going on, but tomorrow I suspect we may have another round of nominations. Thank you as always for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, that is. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are, whether you predicted that Lauren would leave the house, and let me know what you think about what's going on right now. I'd love to hear from you. And once more, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Mwah.